Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's budget setup video. Today we're going to be setting up the paycheck budget for April 5th. So before I do that, I wanted to go through the current pay period and just kind of let you know where we are at with everything. So all of the bills have come out so far, with the exception of one that was just added, which is APS. And that bill is only $3.04, which is fantastic. So that's the benefit of the solar panels, although I still really want to pay them off, because then can you imagine once those are paid off having like a $3 energy bill? That's pretty awesome. So that is supposed to come out on the 4th of the month. So I added that to the pay period calendar as well and everything. And then down here, everything has come out. We just filled up on gas, so we won't need to fill up again. And this also includes a car wash for $9.99. So I think it was like $52, let me see, $63.14 minus $9.99. It was $53.15 to fill up our tank the last time we went, and we fill up at Costco. So gas is closed out, so this is all ready to be closed out. I did put that we would be over by $358.46 because I did not calculate the rollover. Andrew and I have kind of talked about the rollover. Honestly, we're kind of a little bit at odds with like how we want to do it. I would prefer to have a buffer in the checking account and then a separate miscellaneous savings account to kind of like take out of when miscellaneous things come up. The kids need clothes, or we decide to go on a little staycation or something like that. But Andrew wants to keep everything in the checking account. It just gets confusing to me. I kind of like having things in separate places. We're definitely managing the finances together, looking at accounts together. So what makes sense in his mind doesn't make sense in my mind, and vice versa. And it's just the way that our brains are wired. So I would prefer to have like a good buffer of like maybe $2,000 in our checking account, just to help us roll over for those pay periods like this one, where the bills are like, all the bills and expenses are more than what we're getting paid. And then the other pay period, we have plenty left over, so it kind of makes up for it and everything. And then have like $5,000 in a miscellaneous savings account to account for everything else, and then like when we take something out of there, we just replace it and all of that. So we're still figuring that out. I know that might sound just crazy, you guys, but we haven't had a lot of time to like really sit down and hash it out. So we have like a buffer in checking now, but it's just a question of like, okay, well, how much of this is for miscellaneous and how much is for the buffer, and are we just combining it all? It's just all confusing right now. And then we're also waiting on our tax return to come in, so that officially has been filed and good to go. And then we're also going to get a reimbursement from the state for homeschool, probably sometime in April as well. So we're waiting on those things, and once we get all of that in, we'll be able to kind of figure it out a little bit better. But anyways, so that's where we're at with the current pay period. I did also go in and set up April for our pay period calendar. That'll help us set up our paycheck budget. So this is going to be a lighter pay period in terms of bills, which is really helpful. And yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I will close this out at a later time. I have cash over to the side here too. Andrew just went this morning, so we'll stuff some cash envelopes and things like that as well. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to duplicate this current pay period, and then I'm just going to rename this to the 405 paycheck. And I'm not going to put the 322 paycheck in my completed file yet until that's actually completed. So what I do is I just move the completed ones over into this folder, and then that's all good to go. So okay, so let's go ahead and open up the 405 paycheck, close the 322 paycheck, and we will get going on things. So I'm going to change the dates here to 405 and I'm expecting our salaries to be the same. We are going to erase all of these Let me make a larger eraser here. And this is going to be our May mortgage. And we can go through and just erase all of this. And then Andrew did go and he took out cash, so I can kind of leave that there. He took out cash for household. Oops. I can leave that like that. We did bump entertainment up to 100 because we do have a potluck going on this Thursday. We're taking out cash today. We might use some of it for, which technically I guess that's like cheating because it's not the current, like the next pay period yet. That will officially start Friday, but you know, we're out of grocery money and stuff, so we figured we would just take from that. And then for babysitters, we took out 20 for the next couple weeks. We took out the puppies, and then I have not transferred over. Andrew and I get personal money on our Chime cards, and I just transfer that on Friday when we actually get paid, and then we won't have piano. So our personal pocket money, I've mentioned this a few times, but I do get questions about it. It's basically for like if we need clothes or, you know, I want to go get some makeup or something like that. So one thing we have talked about too is just sinking funds, and how we're finding more and more that it would be nice to have a few set up, like for the house specifically, for the car, because we are saving up for new tires. Well, saving up, we're going to use part of our tax return for our tires, and then it would be really, really nice to have like a vitamins and supplements sinking fund, because Andrew takes a lot of vitamins and supplements. I only take a few. I like the Mary Ruth's liquid multivitamin, and then the Bellway fiber gummies. And then I also take Mary Ruth's like nighttime liquid vitamin and collagen peptides, and is that it? I feel like there's more, but I think that might be it. Yeah, those are, I think, all I take. But yeah, so it would be nice because they are kind of pricey. So it'd be nice to have like a sinking fund to pull those from for when we need to replenish. Like now, Andrew's noticing that we're low. So we were literally just talking about this. He noticed that he was low on a lot of his supplements, and I'm like, I don't know where that money, like, where are we going to take this from? So anyways, it'd be kind of nice to get some of those going, but we have to really take a look at our budget and just kind of see where there's wiggle room and how we would make that work and all that kind of stuff. It can be really, really hard to figure all that out. So, okay, so let's see here. So that's all good to go. Cash is good. And then what we'll do is we will, I have my phone off to the side. Let's see if it's charged enough. Yeah, it's charged enough. The kids are very hyper this morning. They're in really good, like, playful moods, which is fun, but they are a little loud right now. So just letting you know. You might hear them in the background. They both got some really good, much needed sleep after our very busy Easter. Okay. So I will transfer that into like a separate savings account for the mortgage, just to kind of get it out of the account and make it less confusing. I'm telling you, that's the way that I like to look at things. It just helps me a lot. So I'm gonna pull up GoodNotes on my phone, and then I'm gonna pull up my pay period calendar here. And then we can kind of take a look at the pay period. So nice and convenient. So first we're gonna have a bill due, and sorry, I am going to tilt this because it's kind of hard for me to write when it's like not tilted. So on the 9th we have water and trash. It's my puppies in the background. And that's $92.82. And then on the 12th, we have our coffee, which I have not been drinking coffee. So I don't know how much longer we're gonna keep this going. I've been really preferring tea lately. Specifically, there's this blueberry green tea that is delicious. It's so good. I don't put any sweetener in it. That way I can have it on my fasting days and stuff. And I like how it makes me feel. I feel like it has a lower amount of caffeine, still some caffeine, but lower. And my body seems to like that a lot more than like the heavy caffeinated stuff. So I don't know if we're gonna keep that going, if we're gonna pause it, or just like decrease the amount of bags of coffee we get, because Andrew still really likes it, although he prefers hot coffee. I honestly don't really drink hot coffee, even in the winter time. I have always preferred cold, like cold brew and stuff. I don't know if you can hear my dogs in the back there, they're battling. They're playing, but $153.24 for Geico Auto, due on the 14th, and then we have State Farm due during this pay period as well. I did notice in May we have a 3 paycheck month coming up, so that'll be good. I do want to start sharing, and I might even just show you our debt right now for the car, just to fill you in. It's honestly something I've hesitated on, but I want to be transparent and share with you. And I think as human beings, we do things that maybe we should not do sometimes, and I definitely do that, and I'm not perfect by any means. I make mistakes. I can be really impulsive sometimes, and I just want to be transparent. So I think I'm gonna just loop you in on where we're at with the car, because pretty soon, once we get our tax return, we will be putting a big chunk to the car, and I think it'll be exciting to kind of share that balance with you guys. Okay, so I think that's everything. There's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, just 6 bills. So that's what the bills are looking like. And then I have a new calculator here because I can't find my old one. And we're gonna add all this up. So hopefully you guys can see. I don't know if you can see. I try to make it to where you can see, because then you can check to see if I'm making errors, but it can be kind of hard to like get this all situated. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but 59.78 plus 153.24 plus 38.70 plus 30.44 for Southwest Gas. I love it when the bills come in and you know exactly what they're going to be. $1,163.93. And of course, if you're not new here, I have to double check. Okay, slight intermission. I had to get my dogs downstairs because that was quite distracting. Okay, and then 153.24, 38.70, and 30.44. So yeah, and then that means we have 3144.75. Where'd oh, $1,980.82 left over after bills are paid from this pay period. Now moving down here, we have 400 plus 50 plus 60 plus 100 plus 20 plus 60 plus 50 plus 50 is a total of $790. Yeah, and I was kind of thinking about this too. Like, will we put extra payments to the car every month beyond, you know, what we already put extra? Because we do put a little extra to it. We put an even $1,000, which is more than the minimum payment. Or will we just kind of let the account build up and then once a quarter make like a bigger payment? And I'm only saying that because it'd be nice to have like a little extra in the account. I don't know how we're gonna manage it, but we'll see. Okay, so we should have $1,190.82 remaining. So what we could do is we could put that all to the car, or we can keep some of it to put towards our next pay period. And maybe what I need to start doing is kind of looking ahead to the next pay period and see like, okay, like our 3/22 paycheck. We had like a negative balance here. So what I could do is look ahead and be like, okay, we need X amount of this amount to cover our next pay period. So let's go ahead and set that aside and put that in as like, you know, an extra expense, like to rollover or something like that. And maybe that's what we need to do, actually. That might be good. I'm not gonna do that in today's video because I don't have time. Andrew has to get to the store and stuff. But I think I might start doing that, just kind of looking ahead a little bit, planning out 2 pay periods at a time, and then go from there. So we'll see. I think that might be a good way to do it. And then that way I know, like, okay, I need to set aside, for example, for simplicity's sake, I need to set aside $500 from this pay period to cover our expenses for next pay period. When, like, towards the end of the month, beginning of the month is when our bills and expenses are higher. So, and then I know, okay, if I take $500 out of that, that means I can put an extra $690.82 to the car, you know, or to whatever goal we're working on, to savings, wherever it's needed, you know. We can split it up and stuff too, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. All right, so we're all good. So we have $1,190.82. Like I said, I may go ahead, like, maybe what I'll start doing and just like, is just do like a whole like April budget, like the first pay period of April or whatever month, and then just do like all the pay periods for the whole month of April. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. So yeah, so we're gonna do that. Maybe I will do that towards the end of this video. I might do that because I'm in the mood, so why not? I can always stuff cash envelopes and then just set it up with you guys after. So this may be a longer video, but I think that will really be beneficial. And then I can show you kind of what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have all of our cash here. And I'm just going to go in and like kind of clean it up real quick because that is how I roll. I like all the bills to be facing the same way. Okay. All right, so let's do this. So first we have groceries. We have a potluck this upcoming Thursday. I think I mentioned that a little earlier. And I think we're making minestrone soup. I'm making sourdough, and then we're doing salad, and then we're gonna get some lemonade, some tea, and I think we might get a couple pizzas too, just based on what other people have said they're bringing. And I think we need like another larger like entree type of deal. So we'll either take that, hang on, I can't count and talk at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this should be 400. We take out 400 every 2 weeks, which to some may sound like a ton, to other people may sound like not enough, but we have gone back and forth like with our grocery budget. We've tried to cut it back as much as we can, and honestly, with the prices of food these days and the way that we like to eat, which we like to get our meat from a local butcher, just to support the small business, and it's, you know, it's coming from farms around here locally, and we want to support that. And then Andrew goes to Sprouts and he gets a lot of like, you know, just higher quality things. We get a lot of healthy things at Costco. We get granola that's more expensive because the ingredients are cleaner. And so that's how we prefer to eat, and it is more expensive, sadly. So that is what works for us, but you got to do what works for you. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84. Yeah, so what I was saying was for the potluck, we may take that from entertainment. We'll just kind of see where we're at. But groceries is all good to go now. So I can give that to Andrew here in just a minute. And then entertainment, we're gonna put 100 in for that. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And this is like if we want to go get ice cream as a family, if we want to go to a movie, all that kind of stuff. So entertainment's there, babysitting. Oh, we still have a 10 in here. So we'll take out these 10. So every Thursday we have Bible study and we pay the babysitter $10. Each family pays the babysitter per kid, and yeah, that's how that works. So she watches the kids for about an hour to an hour and a half, and yeah, so that's all good. And then we have household. So for household, we're taking out 60, 20, 40, 60. So we'll put that in here. I like these little zipper pouches. I have everything I use for budgeting linked in my Amazon storefront, which is linked down below. Just a little FYI. For Mando and Cara, we still had 20, and then we're putting another 60, so now they have 80 in their little envelope. So I am going to go give these to Andrew, and then I'll be right back and we'll set up the next pay period together because I think that'll work out nicely. So I will be right back. Okay, so I am back. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go ahead and set up the next paycheck, which will be on the 19th, right? 19th of April, yes. So let's do that. So I'm gonna rename this to 4/19, and then we will fill this in as well. So I think this will work out nicely. I don't know why I didn't think to do this sooner, but it's good to kind of look ahead. So that's what I'll start doing moving forward. There will still be a budget video every 2 weeks, or I'm sorry, every week, to just like check in, go over the pay period. If I need to add expenses to pay periods and that kind of thing, then we'll do that. But that's what we will do for moving forward. Okay, so on the 19th, we will still have the May mortgage, and then I can erase all of this, and I will need to erase this, and then I know I will need to add piano to this pay period. So let's see, for May, it's $30 per Monday and Thursday. So let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So $270 again for piano for May. And then I can erase this and erase this. Okay, so now what we will do, sorry that that's so tilted. Now we will go to the pay period calendar. Actually, I'm gonna go on my phone and do it the same way. So, all right, so, and I'm gonna tilt this again. Sorry guys, I'm all over the place. On the 19th, we also have Disney Plus. And that's $15.18. Then on the 20th, we have CenturyLink, which is our internet. And that is $65. And then on the 23rd, we have Banner Life, which is my health insurance, or not health insurance, life insurance. Banner Life 2222. So thankful I got that when I was much younger, and that it's as cheap as it is. And then for 24, we have World Watch News. And we use that for homeschool. And that's $6.99. We have our car payment due. This is why this is such a big like pay period. An expensive one, so that's $1,000. But like I said, that's like the minimum plus some, which does make a difference, and I will share that with you because you can see the difference it makes. That's $155. For T-Mobile. And then on the 1st of May, we have the solar panels. On the 1st of May is our gym membership. And we have the HOA. So a lot more bills towards the last little bit of the month, beginning of next month. So our solar panels are $250.06. I cannot wait to get rid of that payment. The gym is $90. We're probably gonna work on that after the car, I'm thinking. And then $126.95. So now we'll go ahead and add all of that up. So we have $788.95 plus $15.18 plus $65, and then $22.22, $699, $1,000, $155, $250.06, $90, and then $126.95. So a total of $2,520.35, which leaves us with, oops, 3144.75 minus 252035. 624, which is not going to be enough to cover our expenses. So this is where the rollover comes in. So I'm just going to double check. Okay, and then let's go ahead and add up expenses. So 400 for groceries, then 50, 60, 100, 20, 60, 270. Yeah, see, so $1,060 for expenses, and then I'm gonna double check it. So then if we subtract that, that gives us negative $435.60. So we would need to take a rollover in, and I would probably round this, like, well, not even round it. I would probably bump it up to just an even 500. So in this paycheck here, what I'm gonna do is under expenses, I am going to put rollover. And I'm gonna put that as $500. So we'll know we need to just take $500 out of this. So now I'm gonna recalculate. Oh, you know what? I should have just, hang on. 790 plus 500. So now I can put this in. Is $1,290. And then 1980.82. So that gives us 690. $690.82. So that $690.82 we can put towards the car, and that's likely what we'll do, because once our tax return and stuff comes in, that's gonna take care of our savings and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be extra to the car, which is super exciting. I'm so excited that we're like officially starting to work on this. But our tax return is a large tax return, you guys. And we're planning to put a big payment to the car. We're planning to put a big chunk in emergency fund, a big chunk towards miscellaneous savings, our checking account buffer, and then we're also going to set aside some for a piano for my daughter, who has been taking piano for a long time now, loves it, is obsessed with it, and we just want to get her a nicer piano now that we know it's something that she is going to stick with. And then what else we need to get new tires for the car. Andrew needs to get some dental work done. And yeah, so we're gonna be doing a lot with that tax return. So it's very exciting that that officially can start going to the car. I think that's so exciting. But I think this will be good. Just kind of looking ahead and knowing like, okay, so now up here I can put rollover from 405, and of course this may change depending on if we're over or under and like all that kind of stuff with the previous pay period, but that's going to be $500. And then I'll put miscellaneous here as well. And so that changes this. I don't know why I keep doing that. I can put this as just a 6. And then I can go in and recalculate all of this stuff. So one sec. I'm gonna do that real quick. So 364475 and then minus 252035. So that gives us 112440 remaining. And then minus 1060 gives us 6440 left over. So not a ton of wiggle room, but there is some. So if we go like a little over on a bill or something like that, then we'll be good to go. But honestly, I think for the most part, these bills are pretty set in stone, so that should be pretty good. But yeah, so now that's all good to go. I kind of like this, you guys. I think this is gonna work out really nicely. I'm just gonna pop over here and erase all this real quick so I don't get confused, because I will. I'll be like, did I write that in? Did I not write that in? So let's just do that. Okay, so now all of the pay periods for April are all set up. So this is just real life, you guys. This is me working things out on camera that I would normally be working out off camera. So I hope that kind of, you know, keeps it real for you guys. And if you're thinking through the same things, maybe it helps you with your thought process or makes you think of something you can do a little differently for yourself, or things you might want to change and all of that. So I hope you guys like the realness of it. I know sometimes like when I'm filming, I'm like, oh, I need to rush or I need to get this done. Like they don't want to sit through all of this. But I know for me personally, I like listening to people think out loud. So maybe you guys do too. If you don't, I am so sorry. But this is real life, right? Okay, so we figured out a different method to sort of help fine-tune the rollover situation and kind of come up with a way to be able to put that extra little chunk. So we'll be able to put a little bit extra to the car on the 5th, and I will wait to do that until this pay period's about to start. So once this one's closed out, that's when I will make that payment, and then you guys will see that happen all when I film my videos and everything. I will definitely share that with you. So speaking of the big reveal, you guys, I'm gonna share this with you. Feel free to judge if you want to, but like I said, I've kind of given this story before, but 2022 specifically was a great year for my business. I am so grateful for that. I feel very blessed for that. We experienced a lot of growth. And I think for the most part, we didn't let it get to our heads. Like we kept our spending pretty much the same. You know, we weren't doing anything super outrageous with the exception of the car. So We were debt free. We did Dave Ramsey's plan. We were completely debt free other than our mortgage. We got our backyard done, paid that all in cash. Like, we were doing really good. And then I decided, like, well, you know, like, let's get the van. We have 2 small children. I really have dreamt of having a van forever. Like, even before I had kids, I just always pictured having a minivan and driving my kids around. And so it was an emotional purchase too, because my oldest is now 9, my youngest is now like 4, and I was just thinking, oh, I want to be able to tow kids around in this. Like, I don't want to wait any longer. And we originally were going to pay cash for a vehicle, but as I'm sure you can imagine, that is very difficult to do. You have to save up for quite some time to actually pay cash. And so we went to just look at minivans and stuff, and I was like, well, we can afford the payment. Like, we have enough coming in. It's not a big deal. Yeah, so it's hard, you guys. It's hard because part of me, it's easy to justify in my head. We only have 1 vehicle. Okay, so we're a 1-car family. We don't drive a ton. We have no other debt besides the solar panels in our house and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I know what Dave Ramsey would say if I called into his show and I told him what we did. Like, I know what he would say, and it would not be good. So just all of that to say, the van is a very nice van. It's a Toyota Sienna. It's a hybrid. It gets great gas mileage. Every single person in my family, like my mom, my grandmother at one time, my aunt, like, we've all had Toyota Siennas, and it's just like a family car, and they last forever. So I'm planning on hopefully one day toting around grandkids in this van. Like, we're planning on having it for a long time. It's not like the super top of the line at all, but it's the nicer one. So anyways, here we go. I'm gonna share it with you, but I just wanted to kind of give the little backstory and everything like that. It's hard to say I regret the purchase because I love the van so very much, and we had 2 paid off vehicles before, and I know we'll pay this off again. We're working on it, but it was an expensive vehicle. It just was, and it's the nicest car we've ever had, and so I don't know. We love it though. It's my baby. I love that car so stinking much. And so, but if I could go back in time, I would have done it differently for sure. I would have just saved up cash as quickly as possible. And even if we didn't pay the whole thing in cash, at least put more down on it is what I would have done. But yeah, so anyways, here we go. Are you ready? Ah, oh gosh, okay. Here's our debt tracker for the Toyota Sienna. Here's the details. That was our beginning balance, $60,000 vehicle, yes. Our minimum payment is $878.22. So as you can see here, we've been putting extra towards it since November, an even $1,000 since November. And our interest rate is almost 6%. So here's where you can see the big difference, you guys. So here we're putting the minimum, right? Putting the minimum. We did a double payment in January, so that was really nice because that put a lot to the principal. But we've been putting the minimum, and then I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't go in and like track all of this or look at all of it, but this number makes me so mad. It makes me so mad that there's that much going to interest. It's just crazy to me. It's so crazy to me that of the minimum payment, that's a large amount going to interest. It's just nuts for like a 5.94% interest rate. But anyways, so I went in and looked at all of that, and I'm like, you know what? In November, we redid the whole structure of the business, and we switched it from an LLC to an S Corp and stuff like that. And so I decided at that point, we're gonna put an even $1,000 to the car. So it's not a ton extra, but it's something. And I will tell you what, it does make a difference, you guys. You can see over here that more is going to the principal balance. Over 700 now is going, when we had like upper 500s, lower 600 before. Now we're in like the 750-ish range. So that's a good difference. Still more to the interest than I would prefer, but this is where our current balance is at after all those payments. We're at $49,640.32. With our tax return, we're hoping to put about $10,000 to the car. That's what we're thinking now. That may change. I don't know. We have to talk about it because we were just talking about vitamins and supplements and stuff like that. But we want to put a big chunk to the car, like I mentioned, and then start putting extra, like the $600-ish from the 405 paycheck towards it. So we're hoping to get this guy paid off as quickly as possible and just be done with it. But I feel like, you know, let's see, our first payment was January, so in about a year-ish, a little over a year, we've gotten the car down by about $10,000. So I want to move quicker than that. My husband wants to move quicker than that. We want to get rid of this car payment. So that is where we're at, you guys. That's our debt that we're currently working on. I am going to be totally transparent, share with you the extra we put towards it, the balance, and then we can celebrate together once it's paid off. And like I said, we're not planning to get any new vehicles anytime soon. I don't see the need for a second vehicle. Andrew's we're being intentional with making sure he's applying to jobs that are local. Like, he has an electric bike and he can take the electric bike to the places that he's planning to apply to. So yeah, but that's where we're at. That's the full transparency of this. And I will probably start sharing our miscellaneous savings too, because we're going to treat it kind of like a sinking fund, like put money in it, take money out, all that kind of stuff to kind of cover all the sinking funds we've had in the past. We're just not in a position where we can have 20 sinking funds and have money going towards them consistently and all of that kind of stuff. We're just kind of having to take it month by month and stretch things out. Thank goodness for hand-me-downs. Maddie hasn't grown a ton. If she grows, obviously we'll get her clothes and stuff, but we're just kind of playing it by ear rather than having that money just kind of sitting there waiting to be spent. We're just gonna have a chunk in our miscellaneous, and then as it's needed, take it out and then put it back in and all of that. So I will be sharing that with you once we have that more established and good to go. So I hope that this was helpful in some way, especially if you're in a similar situation trying to pay off a debt and everything. You know, paying off debt's not fun. Well, I take that back. It can be fun. Having debt stinks, right? We don't want debt, but it's kind of fun, like paying it off and seeing the number go down and all that kind of stuff. And I'm excited to share that process with you guys and everything. So yeah, that's about it for this super long budget video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful, just kind of getting all this stuff lined up. I feel really good about this method. I think it's gonna work really nicely. So I think the first paycheck of the month, each month, I am going to just plan out all the pay periods, and I'll do that with you guys on camera, and then we'll just check in each week. We'll stuff cash envelopes every other week like we've been doing, and then make extra car payments here and there, and hopefully pay off this Sienna as quickly as possible. So we still have a long ways to go, but that big chunk from our tax return is going to help, and then the fact that we're able to start putting extra payments, and then once Andrew's working, we're planning on putting all of his income towards it too, so of course that will help as well. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to catch all of my future videos. I will see you on Saturday for a live premiere. And of course the camera cuts off right when I'm like ending the video. But yeah, what I was saying was Saturday, the live premiere for my digital plan with me will go up. I will be online chatting away with you guys Saturday morning, so of course I hope to see you there. And yeah, if you found this video helpful, did I already say this? Give it a thumbs up. I think I already said that. But if you have any questions or anything too, just let me know down below. Let me know what you're working on, what your financial goals are, and let's just do it together, you know? Get it done. It's a tough economy out there and all of that, so yeah, I know, but we're all in this together, right? Okay, so anyways, that's it, and yeah, I will go ahead and end the video now. I'm sometimes really bad and I draw out these like outros. I don't know. Anywho, but yeah, that's it. I will chat with y'all later. Bye guys.